Right. According to YouTube, we are now supposed to be actually live. We actually started talking like 5 minutes ago, but, well, YouTube's backend is interesting, as always. But hopefully, it might actually now be live. Now, we had planned to actually have this scheduled beforehand to give some warning, so this is perhaps slightly surprising for anyone who's watching, but here we are.
Yep.
We are going to be doing this as a fairly regular weekly event where we're going to talk about various happenstances in gaming over the course of the last week. And I'll also be splitting those into smaller segments that I can upload over the week as well. Assuming everything goes well. Hopefully, it'll also be in a slightly more humane time slot, but right now, Kyle has some family conditions which he has to take care of first, so the timing will be a little bit interesting.
For hopefully only a week. Or maybe 2 at most. That means 2 more of these will be at weird times. Possibly.
Possibly. Alrighty then. So, what have we actually got today? A little bit of a summary before we start. Today's most interesting topics that we've come up with: Paradox. A lot has been happening for the Swedish games developer over the course of the last week. The release of their new DLC did not go over particularly well with anyone, frankly. And then there's a new announcement including the canning of Rome, which is interesting choice after all this time. We've also got Microsoft changing their deal with developers, matching Epic's pricing scheme, which is a pretty major move, particularly also because Epic is currently in, of course, a legal dispute with Apple, who maintains that the 30-70 split is the industry standard. And then finally, a bit of a good old-fashioned retarded case with Riot, the creators of League of Legends, deciding that they're just kind of going to start recording your conversations using the live game chat now, because why not? What possible reason would you not have to record the people playing your games? You know, privacy be damned and all that.
They want to hear spicy gamer words, methinks.
In all due likelihood, yes. Seeing if they can perhaps catch a wild N-word in the free.
Yes, that would be quite a sight. I imagine like a safari, you know, like BBC. Like, oh, there we have one right there. It's a wild gamer. He's about to use the power word. Oh boy. By the way, can I ask one favor of you? Can you send me there in the Streamlabs side, or not Streamlab, in your YouTube studio side? There's a share button for the link to the stream.
See, now you're asking me to go find this.
I can tell you where it is. It's the it's like in the, hold on. Let me get to the same window you're in. Don't worry.
And that might not be so simple.
It will be.
In fact, it might be downright difficult.
It could be. It might be. It's like in the upper right-hand corner. It's like a little arrow. Sorta.
Right. Also, is this even like, goddamn, I don't even know if this is actually showing off. That's the thing. There we go. Right. Now it actually says that it is live and public. God damn it, YouTube. This was a lot easier back in the day, but not anymore.
Yes, it took a while. It has to do with the fact that your channel's new. I have the link anyway, so it's good.
All right.
I'm going to be posting it on your Arch Appreciation on your server, because what we wanted to do, like Arch has said, is we wanted to let people know in advance so they could be like, oh, cool, you know, we're going to show up for this and be ready for it. And now here we are, because YouTube's like, we're not going to list it until it's going and until like 5 minutes in.
Oh, yeah, not even that. But even when it was actually listed, it wasn't actually listed either. It was still in the unlisted state.
Yep.
YouTube is a fascinating platform, and there's very little doubt about that. Oh, look at that. It's suddenly actually live again. God damn it. God damn YouTube. Well, welcome to you guys who finally was able to see this.
Are we live now? No, we've been live for a few minutes.
Yes. It's just that it hasn't actually been listed, so we've just been speaking in a privated video. That's what's been happening.
Oh my god, we were talking to ourselves.
God, this is such a boomer moment. We're just sitting here talking to each other like, hi, there's people out there. And no, there isn't, because the video isn't listed.
Nobody wants to talk to us. So, like, what we have to say is not very interesting, it seems. I guess we failed.
That is absolutely true. Right. Well, now that we have finally managed to unboomer ourselves, at least for the immediate time being, let's get started with Paradox, then, shall we? So, Paradox, the Swedish game developer, announced just yesterday, actually, that they were making some pretty goddamn major changes. They are splitting the studio of 150 plus people now. Like, holy shit. I remember when Paradox was basically an indie studio. But now they're dividing themselves into 3 teams. One is going to be responsible for Stellaris, which is still alive, God only knows how, Crusader Kings 3, and Hearts of Iron 4. And that means that Europa Universalis is probably sold down the river, and Imperator Rome, we know for sure, is sold down the river, as they are now officially announced that they are not continuing the work on Imperator, though technically they also say it is temporary. But let's be honest here, Imperator has been selling like goddamn dog shit ever since they gave us the old switcheroo and simply repackaged Europa Universalis with a slightly Romanesque skin with half the features. It's not going to be doing any better in a year. Like, they're not going to return to Imperator in a year and go like, right, let's get to work making this a game, man.
Yep. The
Imperator's cancelled, which I've got mixed feelings about. On the one hand, it was not a very good game. It was an awful game in many ways, which even led, of course, one of their game devs to basically say on the forums, I don't know how to make games anymore.
Yeah. That was kind of funny.
Which was worth the admission. But then, of course, they manned up and they said, like, okay, we've clearly misread the community something hilarious here, so let's start reworking it. And to be fair, they have made significant progress in making it into... I mean, right now, I would say that Imperator is just a really boring grand strategy game instead of a completely awful one.
Did you revisit it after their Marius update or whatever it was called?
Yes, briefly. I played it for a few hours and realized that
it was still lacking, but it was definitely a step in the right direction. And you know what? It was strange is it put it back in my book of like, I'll keep an eye on this again. I was, we had both, I think everybody I know had wasted money on this game. Like, okay, it'll get better. Like they're gonna keep content improving it and patching it. That was the hope. Well, those hopes were dashed.
Those hopes were dashed indeed. Oh, shit. Right. I was wondering why there was nothing in the live chat, and that's, of course, because the YouTube backend does not update the live chat, mother. Right.
God damn it. Choke on my teeth. Damn it.
I think this is perhaps one of the most boomerific streams ever actually launched onto YouTube.
Look.
I mean, I've seen Sargon streams with more technical fucking flair and brilliance than this. And he's had streams where he was talking to himself with a muted mic for 3 minutes.
Hold on. I've done that. But that's besides the point. Look, you'd be surprised how easy that is to do, okay? You get you get stuck in a thought, and you're like, you're trying to talk about it. You're pretty impassioned with it. And then you look over chat, and it's nothing but, like, ats and going, you're muted. You're muted.
But anywho, again, hello, everyone. And sorry for the confusion. But right, so what we've got here is Imperator is dead. It is meat for the slaughter. And Europa Universalis is probably dead as well, since it's not assigned to any of their teams. Which is an even bigger problem because, of course, they just released the Leviathan expansion DLC, and it broke everyone's game. The review page for it is hilarious. It is 8% positive. That has got to be some kind of record.
That is impressive. But also sad.
The only positive review I found said, quote, Cyberpunk 1444. the horror stories around this thing too. So the biggest thing is it crashes constantly, and so people have the worst story I saw on their forums was one dude who started a game, was doing really well, then the game crashed, and it's like, okay, it's a Paradox game, boot it back up again. His save was corrupted, and so it's like, okay, well, it's a Paradox game, I've got two. His auto save was corrupted as well. So there goes his campaign. And that is apparently happening to just everyone. It has 2,770 reviews out of, again, 8% are positive.
Yep. Show it again for chat. There you can see it. It's sad.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
I also like to point out that Imperator Rome has abandoned, but they still managed to shove this thing out the door. And again, I want to just stress, there is no way Paradox does not know that this shit is broken. They fired their quality assurance team not that long ago, so there's that. But they have bug fixing tools. I mean, they must have known that this product was not ready for any kind of marketing, and yet, there it goes. Oh, and yes, chat, the channel is not monetized yet. I got the requirements pretty much on day one, but now I am applying for the monetization. That's probably going to take a while.
Yep, which is unfortunate.
Yes, it's just YouTube. So you get to save your months, which is good for you. Very good for you.
Do not forget to switch over to live chat, because top chat is censored chat.
Top chat is censored chat. There you go. So what do we think about this then? Paradox is, I don't know, it's consolidating, I guess you could say. Bearing in mind that they are still saying that they are going to continue to actually release new games. They are planning to continue developing games. It's just that these three studios will now have to develop games simultaneously whilst providing DLC and basic patching support for their three main titles, which sounds like a clusterfuck, but oh well.
Yep, it is. It's gonna be a disaster, and honestly, like, as somebody who bought into Imperator and is a big fan of Antiquity, like, it's a huge disappointment. I know it is for you too. Like, at the same time, we were already disappointed with the release. We played it, and I remember you, Bubbles, myself, and we were just talking about it in a VC, and we're just like, it's kind of shitty. Like, it's not very fun. Very boring. It's like Risk with colors. Like, move a piece and you take a chunk of land, and then you play whack-a-mole with the buttons, with your mana bars or your mana pools. Your three different mana, or was it 4 different mana pools?
Oh, they were way more than that, because there was diplomacy mana pool, military mana pool, religion mana pool, and conversion mana pool as well. Like, there were 4 or 5. And there was almost no mechanic that didn't function on just pure mana. And the worst part, too, is the UI was massive, and there were so many different tabs that it kind of tricked you into thinking, like, hold on, there's got to be some complexity here I'm missing, right? There's all of these numbers, and it can't all be mana, right? As you keep playing, no, it's all mana.
It was very disappointing, but at the same time, I would say, like, I would try to play devil's advocate here, but it's kind of hard to, because, like, well, now they pulled their resources and now they can focus on, these other games, and so therefore the quality should go up. But then we look at Leviathan, we look at Hearts of Iron's recent DLC, and then we also look at Nemesis, and there's a pattern here. A very bad pattern.
There is absolutely a pattern here. Paradox is not the studio they once were. I mean, hell, the whole Bloodlines thing as well. Oh my Jesus. Like, they seem to have just been heading from one catastrophe to another now on rapid fire.
Yep. Now you have to wonder, will the Hearts DLC be the same way?
Yeah, that is the big question, isn't it? In lieu of super chats, allow me to answer a couple of the burning questions of the chat here, because I see there's a few tagging me in. Why are you awake? Are you also participating in Ramadan fasting? Says Abdi Muhammad. Yes, I am. I am fasting. I have converted to the glorious light of Allah now because it gives me way more privileges in Norway. Except I'm still eating food. You know, it's fasting of the soul. Okay, it's far more pious in a way. Yeah, I like that.
Also, preemptively, you should mod me and Disco.
That might be a good idea.
In case bots.
Scott the Celt, have you ever played Subnautica and you're looking forward to Subnautica Below Zero? Yes, I did play Subnautica. It was a really fun, like, kind of almost adventure-y style game where you could just kind of wander around and do shit, but it also had a purpose for you. So I am looking forward to Below Zero. I'm like, cool. And Captain Diomedes, tell Kyle the Cheeseburger Man is here to judge him. There you go, Kyle.
His name is Cheeseburger, and I want everyone to know that.
Now, the Hoi 4 community had a good laugh at one retarded focus tree. That's true as well. They have been preparing the Barbarossa DLC now, which was inevitable. I think every Hearts of Iron game has had a Barbarossa DLC, which makes a degree of sense, surely. But they've been adding in some features that we actually kind of like, or hope we like anyways. There's the tank designer, which is just it's cool. I'm hoping it'll be less ass than the man the guns designer.
Oh boy.
But yeah. It's a neat little thing, right? Yeah, make your own tanks. Okay, there's some cool shit there. It could be fun. But far more importantly, the logistics system. Now that one is a big one. A very, very big one. Because it's been one of the largest weaknesses for Hearts of Iron since the series began. Hearts of Iron 3 had an awful logistics system where the game just went like, logistic route go here through low infrastructure provinces. Yes, fuck you. Whereas 4 was like, hey, let's take that system, but let's just have it be random areas. So if you move a unit from one province to the other, you go from full supply to, we are starving. We haven't had anything to eat for 24 hours. All the men are dead.
Yes, so we can build railways.
Now, that's the thing. Now we have railways, and it's supposed to have like a forward operating base system where you can actually make supply yards, which is something the community has been asking for like 5-6 years.
It only took them a while. Oh,
it's a hope though. Like I'm really, really hoping and praying that they'll make it a good logistical system, because if they do, it'll solve one of the biggest annoyances of Hearts of Iron for me. But the thing is, logistic is one of the most important systems that can make or break a war. And we're trusting Paradox to develop that mechanic, seeing their recent track record.
Yeah, this mechanic could single-handedly break the game. Like, I just want to point that out.
That's the thing. This could make the game, but oh boy, could it snap its tiny little fucking neck too.
Yeah, you fuck up the logistics system and like all of a sudden you've made warfare a nightmare. Like, I don't know. Because the logistics system, one concern I have is you could cheese it, maybe. Paradropping like troops just on the little train nodes. Because my question is, okay, every nation can see the railroads of other nations, so it's not like it's hidden. But would like the FOBs be like something you'd have to discover, maybe? I mean, the spy system's already a disaster because it uses fucking civilian factories instead of actual money. So that's already bad for third world countries. But seriously, like, how are you gonna balance that? Because can you cheese and just paradrop troops on it and then like destroy supply chains that way with one division being sacrificed?
Yeah, because there's got to also be a thing where you can build up the supplies in the field. Because otherwise, you could absolutely have not even a division, a regiment of paratroopers. Dump it on the supply base, and overnight, there you go. They've taken out the entirety of supply for the whole front line. Whoops.
Yeah, done broke the... Then you could argue, well, maybe they should have thought about building like another train in Siberia. That's fair.
Yeah, I have a lot of hope for the system because, again, it's been one of the absolute greatest weaknesses of the game. But boy, trusting Paradox with that. Mm, mm. Well, we can but hope and pray. And then there's the Polish tree, which is great because it nerfs Poland even harder, which is fantastic. Like the developers were sitting there thinking to themselves, right? Playing Poland was way too goddamn easy, being squished between the Soviet Union and Germany. So how about we lock all of their useful stuff behind this 90-day unlock as you go system? And if you don't, we're just going to throw your entire country into an open revolt. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't... See, the thing about a focus tree is it's supposed to give you different play style options. Like, that's kind of what the deal is. But here, with that, is it's like, instead of play styles or different directions to go, it's like, you will go down this path. Or you will restart and do it the right way.
Yeah, because if you don't go down that path, well, civil war. Deal with that whilst Germany's invading.
I don't know. Like, I get, like, some events being, like, historical that should happen. Like, if this was set in World War I, you know, the Red Revolution should happen if a couple of, like, you know, events are triggered and certain check marks are reached. But I feel like this is just too on the nose. It's like, it's gonna happen to begin with, no matter what. Yeah, but really? Like, Spain, okay, fair, because historically it did go into a civil war. But historically speaking, Poland didn't go into a civil war. So why do you have to do that?
Well, again, like the focus trees, they're a great way to tell a story, but all too often they are used to railroad you into a story as well.
Yeah, I missed the thing in Hearts of Iron 3 and 2, where it was like the decisions, which they have in Hearts of Iron now, was how it worked. You had a decision, and you could click on it, or you could choose not to click on it. Yes or no?
Yep. It would be nice to see them return to a little bit more of a mixed system like that, frankly. It really would.
Yeah, you can give us alt history pop-ups, like you're playing, like, let's say you're playing, like, Germany, right? And you're doing the Treaty of Vienna for Hungary, and you're gonna give them, like, it'll be like decision, you know? You want to give them all of it? Do you want to give them a little bit? Or whatever. But instead of me waiting 70 days for a focus tree event, like, I don't know. The focus trees, at first they were neat, and now I just look at it as wait timers. And when I think of playing the game, I can't, because, like, I boot it up and I get to that. I'm like, oh, look, more timers. Everything's a timer. 70 days for this, 120 days for that. It's just not very fun.
Also, the chat seems to think you're a little low, or I'm a little loud.
I'd rather be a little low than a little loud, because
okay.
There, I tuned it up a little.
You can put me. Okay.
I'll just make it match you. Remember, because of the situation, I have to take my audio kit with me, and when I put it in the bag, the knobs bump the bag while I drive, because, you know, I drive like a crazy person, and
Yes.
those knobs twist and turn, so the volumes change. Like I blew your eardrums out the other day.
That is true. That is true.
Oh.
Right. So we do. We'll keep these halfway short because we've got some fewer topics, and I don't want this stream to be too long. And in between, I'll just look in the chat and answer a couple of questions I see. What will happen after the war for Badab? Will we cover the many crusades against the Tau? After Badab, we will be returning to the usually scheduled broadcasting with one Warhammer Fantasy a month, 240k, and one Horus Heresy breakdown for the foreseeable future until I potentially do another large one at some point. Oh, and mix in a little bit of Starship Troopers as well, definitely. Kai Kibbs drives like an American. Do you?
Yeah.
Disgusting. And disavow. Drive safely, kids. Not like Kyle.
Don't worry, Arch. One day I'll be the driver and you'll get to experience it. I'm here for my friends. It's an experience. They're annoyed that I go through stoplights. Look, sometimes I'm not paying attention. It's just like, whoa, that was a stoplight.
Yeah, Kyle, the red light means stop. You're
Look,
supposed to listen to that.
when it's the middle of the night and nobody's around, like it's just red. There's nobody. Like the streets are empty. Okay, it's fine. You can just go right through. Perfectly natural.
No.
Time saving even. Economic.
No.
Earth friendly. Look, I'm driving like I'm not staying in the vehicle as long. Helping the environment or something.
No.
I'm thinking ahead here.
No. Just no. Right, everyone in chat, they hear it's the confession. You know, when the trial starts, just show up at the courthouse and be like, "Yeah, no, he's a speed demon. Kill him."
Fine.
You probably live in a state where they just shoot people like that, anyways.
I live in a state in which is on fire, but we'll talk about that at a later date. It's supposed to be cold up here.
On fire is a good lead-in, as our next case is Microsoft increases PC dev revenue share to 88%, which is matching Epic's. Epic Games is winning, Kyle. They're transforming the industry. Aren't you happy?
No. Anytime Chinese-owned things start working their way into anything, I get mad.
That's true. Tencent owns an unfortunately large percentage of Epic Games.
That's why I'll literally side with Origin over Epic. I would sooner side with my worst enemy, which is Activision, friggin' BattleNet, which is a disaster in itself, before I'd side with Epic.
But they want to give independent developers like you more money, Kyle. How is this wrong?
See, that's cute, but the thing is, there's always a catch, right? They'll give me a little bit of money to help the indie game, which would be great, but there's a caveat. It'd be exclusive to their platform. They can dictate things to you, and it depends on what deals are behind the scene. Because when you take a publisher deal, like, how much control are you giving away? In the case of Visceral, it was total control. So when EA's like, you need to make Dead Space 3 sell 8 bajillion copies, and it's like, dude, this is a horror genre. Like, we can only sell, like, so many because it's, it's a fucking niche. And when they didn't meet that quota, they're like, and we're pulling the plug.
Possibly. I mean, Microsoft is claiming that this will be a no-strings-attached deal.
Microsoft?
Yeah.
A no-strings-attached deal? What's the fine print? I've got family in Microsoft, so I can ask if that's true or not. I don't know if I trust that. No strings.
I mean, in theory, I quite like it. Because there's also the fact here that this is a very clear dig at Apple as well. Because you got to remember, Apple is currently engaged in a legal with Epic Games, and one of the key arguments that Apple is bringing up is that their revenue split, 70% to the developer, 30% to them, is an industry standard. Epic can now go and say, like, hey, Microsoft doesn't think this is an industry standard, and they've also got numbers from the Games Dev Conference saying that 30-70 split is not justified, and so on. It could be an interesting argument. I mean, the whole lawsuit itself is bloody fascinating to watch these mega corporations kill each other. So, best of luck to both of them.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it would be the ideal situation in which they both killed each other, but that's not what's going to happen, sadly.
In a perfect world, they'll both come out of it severely bloodied and with the 88-12 split being the new normal.
See, this would be good for indies and a lot of other people in the industry. If that actually happens the way it's supposed to happen. That's a big if, though.
That's the question. Because, I mean, just on the face of it, but bearing in mind, Epic has also said publicly that they don't expect their platform to be profitable for years again. And they have spent their hundreds of millions of dollars in the red right now, mostly because they keep signing massive checks to companies to buy their exclusives, which is the reason why everyone has a problem with Epic to begin with. But presuming that they, as they think, eventually become profitable, then it will be very tempting, I think, for people to move over to that and Microsoft instead of the 70-30 split. Because let's face it, a 30% cut of your revenue for, what, hosting you on a glorified pixelated storefront. That's steep.
It is
That's
quite
brutal.
steep. And while Steam offers a lot, because believe you me, I've spent my time researching at which platform would be the best for us. And I've basically decided now, personally, I'm going to go with all of them. Doesn't matter. Because exposure is exposure when you're tiny. And when you're indie, it doesn't matter. You need to be everywhere. You need to tip your toe into every market pool possible to get your name out there, to catch on. But, you know, with Steam, it's one of the disappointing things is like the 30% thing. It's like, ow, like, why so much? Like, we did all the work, and we do get to use some of the Steam's features. Like, number one, we get to be on the one of the most popular PC market storefronts. We also get a bunch of other nice things. You get access to a forum and other tools and unique things. But 30% is still steep. Like, I don't know, 15 or 20, like, is a little bit more reasonable, I think, in my opinion. Because that's a lot of money. And they're not just getting it from, like, one company. That's everybody. Every purchase, every sale.
There's a reason why Valve doesn't need to make games anymore. There's a reason why Valve's head honcho owns like a private island chain in New Zealand at this bloody point. Like Gaben is not merely fat these days. That's not blubber. That is the money sewn into his jacket.
Oh, see, you're making me sad because Gabe's health is, you know, because he's overweight. Like, if he dies, I'd be depressed because, like, the memes, it would be a tragedy.
Gabe's a funny dude. He is.
That's why he needs to not die, because otherwise I won't get my Gabe meme. Otherwise there'll be sadness when I see, you know, Jesus Gabe and like the 50%, 75% meme with all the sales and stuff.
See, we could expand this discussion so much wider as well, because one of the things that really annoyed me by Origin is that they had the opportunity to, because they were talking about this before they launched Origin, a digital product for a digital price. Just slash like 20% off all of the prices right then, right there, and then see increases in sales. But then they would also not be able to run the deep discounts that Steam does. And all due reality, like if you want a game on Steam that costs $60, if you just chill the fuck out for a little bit, wait for a few months, you'll probably see a 10, 20, 30, even possibly more % discount. And suddenly that's a lot of money saved.
And the only exception would probably be Japanese publishers. Because they don't really like doing sales.
They don't give a shit, because they're used to selling it to Japanese people who not only buy it at full price, they buy 3 copies at full price.
But even so, sometimes they do sales. So it's okay to wait, because you never know. And always look into a company like Square Enix. Good luck. But certain companies, they'll pop around for sales, summer sales, stuff like that. Just a little bit of patience, and you can get a game for a lot off. And that's also, you raise a good point there, like $60. Like, that's been a topic recently about raising it in the industry. I've been hearing again circulating. Like, we need $70. It's like, what? You don't even need to make the boxes anymore. You don't need to manufacture the discs. If anything, it's getting a little cheaper, but the only thing that's inflating is the art, the graphics, and the music, and having the need to make your music sound like a big Hollywood blockbuster. The absolute need to hire real world actors to voice act the characters. I don't understand that. But that's that kind of fetishization of that shit. Like, that's probably the thing that's hiking up the price of development costs. And if they would just cut that in marketing, they probably could fucking make it like $40, $30, really.
Absolutely. Somebody figured out the Streamlabs link, the True Alfarius for $1. Take the money, bigot. Thank you very much.
Hey, give me your Streamlabs link, and so I can post it in chat. Or no, you post it.
I already have it in the thing. But normally we'll do super chats in like a separate segment at the end. But since I am not monetized yet, I am a mere plebeian.
So it's in the description.
Yes. We'll just read out some of the various things occasionally. So if you have a question, just do the @ArchCast thing, and we'll see if we can't get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's the thing too, right? Because I want to comment on that. You bring up a good point. The whole $70 thing. Because this has been a thing that has been pushed mostly, and the worst thing is, by the bloody sports games too, that cost nothing to develop. A sport game that year to release is mostly a roster update. They're like, right, which people have quit, what people have come in, and how they switch teams. Like it's moving numbers around. And they sell that not only at full price, but chock full of microtransactions, with EA recently getting caught in an internal email saying that they were pushing people towards FIFA's microtransactions specifically. And these companies that put in the least amount of effort for the maximum amount of money are telling me that they need 10 extra bucks on top of that? No. Go away.
Give me your money, please. Oh, they want your money so bad, though. They can't deserve it. Okay.
It's a nonsense argument. It's like, oh, the price has remained stagnant. It hasn't really, though. That's the thing. Now, if we were receiving a full, finished, polished product on day one for $60, sure, fine, okay, I'll agree, right? Okay, it's been a while, $70, right? Okay, but we're not, are we? We're receiving broken, buggy pieces of crap that usually require some form of day one patch at least, if not months of support to make them playable. And on top of that, we're bombarded with DLC. Paradox is the prime offender with this. Oh, God. Somebody made a math thing out of how much Crusader Kings 2 cost now, and it's like $300-400 or something.
Oh, God, don't worry. Total War Warhammer is climbing there.
Oh God, yeah! Total War Warhammer is another excellent example. These games don't cost $60 no more. And I've also I can't tell you the specific numbers, but I have been told very specifically by an insider at CA that they make a ludicrous killing of that DLC. The work they put into it compared to what they take out is incomparable.
They are fucking running away with your money. It's kind of great for them, I suppose.
Oh, it is. They could be selling that for probably a third of the price and still be making bank. So, what the market will bear, I suppose.
Think about it. They're selling you Total War Warhammer 1, $60, plus its DLC. Then you need Total War Warhammer 2, plus its DLC. Then you need Total War Warhammer 3, plus God knows how much DLC that'll get. That'll get more than probably the first two fucking combined. And then you have a complete product.
And bearing in mind, too, it's all on-disc DLC as well. I'm old enough to remember the days when that shit was heresy, and yet now, if you don't buy the DLC, it's still in the game. You just don't get to play with it. Yep. In fact, there are certain instances where if you don't have a certain piece of DLC, you'll run into AI factions with special unique units that will kill the crap out of you, and you'll be like, well, that's mildly unfair. Because, of course, they're selling units. They said they wouldn't, but of course they are.
I mean, they said that after the Empire Napoleon fiasco. People forget. People are so forgetful. Empire. I remember this. Friggin', you go to Best Buy, you could get one exclusive unit for Napoleon. I remember that. You go to Target, you get 2 exclusive units, but they're for a different nation. And then after a year, they finally made them DLC. It felt like a year. I was a kid, but still. It was the dumbest thing. It's really? Stores have exclusive shit now? And they did that with consoles, too. With other companies. It's just scummy.
Luckily, they've mostly moved away from that, at least. Small mercies and all that.
Small. Now they're just, DLCing the ever-living shit out of it, but, whatever.
So in the end, to round this one topic up as well, I think it's good. I think Microsoft is making a good move here that is healthy for the industry. An 88-12 split is a good thing. And honestly, I would be cheering on Epic for it as well if it weren't for their goddamn exclusivity policy, which does far more harm to the industry, in my opinion, than their better revenue split fixes.
Yes. If they would just do the better revenue split and not do the exclusivity deals, then they would have an argument, even though I hate them because they're owned by Tencent.
That's true. Tencent. I mean, the thing is, what's his name? The,
Tim Sweeney or something?
Tim Sweeney, yes. I like him. He seems like a decent dude, and he's willing to debate and talk about his opinions and philosophies on Twitter surrounding the revenue sharing. So I'm kind of like halfway on the fence of believing him and halfway not.
Remember, let me remind people. You remember Sega? Sega was like, "Hey, Gearbox, you're gonna make me a game?" Gearbox, "Hell yeah, we'll make you Aliens, Colonial Marines." And Sega's like, "Here's all this money. Please make me a good game." And they're like, "Haha, okay." And so they took that money and put it in Borderlands, and then hired a little shitty studio that couldn't finish the game. They tried their hardest, but they weren't, a AAA studio. They're like, you finished the game.
Never trust anyone involved in gaming. And that includes Kyle, by the way.
Gearbox, bad. Gearbox, tell me a Gearbox port that's good. Tell me, no, not a port. Tell me a Gearbox thing that's good. They did Half-Life Opposing Force. If you go back and play that, that's a special Half-Life game. Might be the worst Half-Life game. Gearbox can't make games. They're bad. They're a bad company. They should feel bad.
They should. Let's see. Any more questions I've ignored so far? Any plans on doing more of the Primarch videos, says Jonathan Macy? The lore or alternate art like Loyalist Conrad. So would love to see how separate 21st Legion under Omegon would affect the timeline. Yes. In fact, I'm kind of considering next year not doing a large lore series, but instead just doing all of the Primarchs. The planning for that is going to be a little bit challenging, so I might put out some polls for that eventually, because essentially what I would have to do then is go like, okay, I can do all the Primarchs in a year, and maybe I could even release them almost back to back, but it would mean I'd have to take like a week out of the usual production to get it done, because the Primarch videos are like 2-3 hours a pop, so... let's see. Empire Builder 12. Any... stop, YouTube. YouTube. No, don't. No. It scrolled. Mother. Now, where was that? There. Any thoughts on a game called Shadow Empire? Its logistics system is autistic enough for you. I did a video on it ages ago. It's a really cool game. It's absurdly autistic. It's the kind of game where you can design your own aircraft, and if you design them wrong, they can't fly because the atmosphere isn't thick enough. It's great. It's actually great. It's fantastic. Marangatu are going to review the Iron Harvest expansion. It introduces Aeons and the Americans as a faction. Absolutely. Like, I still want to like Iron Harvest. And let me also point out, whilst Paradox tucks their tails between their legs and run for the hills like the coward little Swedish pieces of shit that they absolutely are, Iron Harvest, despite a lackluster launch, because they misprioritized. They put a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of effort into a campaign that they just frankly didn't have the skills to pull off, and so it was goddamn awful. But despite that, they're patching it like crazy. And now they're adding in, and the best part too, standalone expansion. Good guys. Good bloody guys. Like, I want to help them out. I really do.
Just don't let whoever wrote the story for the game ever write again. That was painful.
The story, the pacing, the mission structure.
The mission design was the worst. Like, the writing was bad. But the level design, like the stealth mission, the forced stealth mission, that one almost, that was so close. Had it not been for Avenger, who, I had one of my subscribers, Avenger, play it for me, because I just let him take over, and I'm like, you do it. Like, I don't want to play anymore. It was so bad.
How I would describe it is, the writing itself is merely cringe and tropey, which is like, okay. But God, the entire mission design. I'm sorry. I apologize to whoever made it, because the thing is, I don't think the guy is necessarily bad. I think this is just the first time he's ever done something like this, because you can see it in the pacing. The first mission for Polania is 4 times longer than it needs to be, because you're fighting the same goddamn group of enemies again and again and again and again. Like, no, make the fights good, memorable, cinematic. Think Company of Heroes. Think the first Company of Heroes mission, where you drop in and you have like a few skirmishes here and there with individual squads. They're over in like 5 seconds tops, and you attack one storage area where you steal some packs, and then you ambush a convoy. It's action, it's cinematic, it's boom bang. You get heavy weapons, you get machine guns, you get tank guns. You get to murder a bunch of Nazis coming at you in Opel Blitz trucks. It's cool. The first mission for Polania, take cover, slowly kill that squad over there. Yeah, it's going to take you about a minute or so. Move on, kill the next squad.
The only
2
highlight
minutes for that one.
The only highlight was Potato Bear.
Yes, Potato Bear.
He just looked like a potato.
But yes, and the best part is the name, the USonia.
Yeah, that's real
faction.
creative. Like, okay. I will give them the benefit of the doubt, because I was ripping on this the other day, and then Bubbles was like, actually, it's alt history. And like, yeah, you're right. Technically, this is still Earth. It's alternate history, so it's still like USA. It's, meant to be Saxony's meant to be Germany, and Polani's meant to be Poland. So I'll give them that. I'll let that slide. But come on, that's just a little bit silly. It's like, it's pronounced basically the same, but the spelling's slightly different.
Yep. I'm definitely going to play it, and I'm definitely going to make a video on it, because, again, I really did enjoy a lot of the multiplayer. Just that goddamn Polish cavalry unit. Whoever made that.
The balance. Oh my god, it pushes mechs backwards. I remember we streamed it, and I remember my mech being pushed backward. I think it was on your channel. I can't remember.
I hope they've fixed that, because like that unit, you wouldn't even need, like, I wouldn't even need to see it in action to know it's bad. Just show me the parameters for that, and I will know it's bad, because it's a unit that's in melee, so you can't shoot at it, that can kill 2 to 3 enemy infantry squads, and it can chase you down on retreat, killing the entire squad. Bad. That was some relic balancing right there. That is the kind of balancing that puts the bloody Fallschirmjäger from the original Company of Heroes to shame. Oh, good God. Oh, good God. My blood pressure. Oh.
Don't worry, it'll pop soon.
Let's see. Let me move on then to our final topic for today. I'm intending to keep these streams about hour and a half, roughly-ish, with eventual super chat reading, a little bit smaller. And I also want to have like these discussion in between where we just talk to the chat a little bit, because that's fun too.
I'd say like, yeah, try to stick to that hour 30, whatever you want for the time frame. Like, I got all day, so whatever. But yeah, and then just sort of like play it from here, and then we'll figure it out. Like, what's the comfortable time?
Yes. So our final topic for today is Riot Games, famous for ritualistically sexually harassing everyone who works for them, men or women. Very inclusive like that.
That's good.
They've been sued, I don't know how many times now. It just kind of keeps going. They did suspend one of their CEOs without pay recently because apparently he had a habit of going around the office and farting on people.
Okie dokie then.
No further comment to that. No additional commentary, just that was what he enjoyed doing. And there was nothing sexist about it. He farted on men and women alike. It was just, there you go. That was
one disclaimer for Riot on their behalf. The artists that work there that have come out of that hellhole are pretty cool people. Like, I like their art. Cool artists have come out of there. The rest can burn.
Well, another person found the Streamlabs link. Sujad for $3. Are you looking forward to Homeworld 3? I would be if they were actually telling me anything about the damned thing. Like, it was announced like a year plus ago, and just like, yeah, well, we're making it. Like, okay, well, I'm I'm looking forward to it when you're done.
It's being baked. I'm a little bit nervous though. It's kind of like Age of Empires 4. Like I'm nervous about both those games because I'm like they've been pretty quiet about it.
Yes, and that didn't work out well for Necromunda, to put it like that.
Like we're gonna be quiet about. Oh, game came out, and like, oh well, nobody cares.
Oh,
no,
shit. That's why you were quiet, huh? Oh, well, there you go. But yeah, I'm excited. So, anywho, that's not what they're doing now. Okay, it's not the farting thing, and it's not the sexual harassment. Oh, there was a. I wish I could remember this story. There was a really good story as well about one of the women who claimed to have been sexually harassed because basically she accused him of just having really cheesy one-liner come-ons like, "Hey, what you doing?" level stuff. But oh well.
Hi, how are you?
Anyhow, what they're doing now is that in their game Valorant, I don't even know what that is because it's probably some kind of MOBA FPS.
I think I know what that is. I think it's the Overwatch clone, isn't it?
Oh, an Overwatch clone. Well, that makes me even less interested, frankly.
Pretty sure Valorant sounds like an Overwatch clone. I
googled it, and it looks like Team Fortress did indeed have some form of rape baby with Overwatch.
I mean, yeah, Overwatch is a I don't even know. It's like a tumor that grew on Team Fortress 2's back.
Cool. They've even got characters who literally look exactly like Overwatch characters. That's adorable.
Wow, real original. This is my original character. It's the same. It's like, I don't know, Stocking from Penny Stocking, but recolored. Like,
wow, even their like result screen looks like Overwatch. Huh. Right, well, so Riot made Overwatch, and now they're planning to record all of your conversations over the in-game voice chat in case you say power words. Now, I feel like there's some legalistic problems with this, because I'm pretty sure you can't even record people's phone calls without, like, double permission in many cases, but this is what we need to do, okay? Riot's fan base is so completely and utterly toxic that they have to phone tap your goddamn ass so as to ensure you don't drop a power word to distract your opponent in the middle of a heated round of Overwatch.
See, hold on a second. See, that's, in my opinion, that's stupid because, think about it. Dropping power words, the reason why they're pro-gamer strats is because they do distract your opponent. They lose balance because they're consumed with rage. Meanwhile, your Zen is so perfect that you're like just casting power words upon them like it's fucking candy, you know? And you're like, I am the master. That's
the
true
worst
gaming.
part is, I expect you have a point there. Like, imagine you're in a really heated, sweaty match, you know? You're equally matched with your opponent, and this is like some kind of Counter-Strike CSGO level nonsense. It all decided in a single headshot. And you just hear a stream of power words hit you over the microphone. You're likely to just stop thinking for a second and go like, what? And then you're shot, then you die, and then you lose. And the other guy is like,
I mean,
yeah,
that
was a tactic, bro.
That's actually fucking how it is, though. Because back when I used to play fucking chess and tournaments and shit, like I spent more time staring at my opponent's face than I did with the board. Towards the end, because I realized that their facial expression told me what they were thinking. Whether they were, like, confident or they're shitting the bricks, you know?
See, that is a perfect picture right there. Just imagine it. A heated game of chess we're talking about here. And Kyle's opponent picks up his queen and moves her forward into a game-winning position as Kyle just leans in close and says, And he is so shocked, he drops the queen. And now it's placed right there on the board.
That's actually a rule. If you take your finger off the piece, you can't touch it. Shouldn't have done
there you go.
Shouldn't have done.
Right. So we have discovered the reason why, apparently the chat calls it Chinese Overwatch, is doing this. It's to prevent cheating in the form of power words. Right. Well, that makes way more sense.
Oh my god. So stupid, but I love it.
And the thing is too, right? Okay. Let's say we're giving the benefit of the doubt, right? Because they're promising we'll only record you when there's a report. Like, bullshit. let's say you drop the gamer word, the hard gamer word, and somebody on the other side just bursts out in tears and reports you, right? It's too late. The power has been dropped. The Kamehameha has already occurred. It's game over.
Yeah, exactly.
They can record you afterwards. Like even if a small recording device then starts immediately, it's already done. You're laughing in Nigerian at that point, So they're gonna have to be recording you before that. They're gonna have to record you all the time, or they're not gonna catch it.
That's so stupid, though. Like, banter in gaming has always been a thing. If the game allows you to have banter between the enemy, your opponent, and your team, which I don't think that it would be. It'd probably be just inter-team, right?
Probably just inter-team, yeah.
Yeah. But even so, if somebody's chugging, you need to, put some fire on their ass and get them going. Calling them some power words to inspire them to, behave better is a great motivator.
Yeah. That goddamn sniper over there, that thrice damned Nagash, get off your goddamn perch and capture the point, you son of a slut.
Yeah, and then he'll be motivated to win the game.
Yeah, there you go. There you are. And of course, obviously as well, there's the privacy concerns here. Because if they're recording people, and if just a report, not a verified report, not something they've checked, just a report can activate the recording device, they can record you saying anything at practically any time. Now, granted, if you're stupid enough to be discussing sensitive private details over a game chat, don't. But there's still the obvious ethical and legalistic concerns here of just randomly recording people. And of course, they're saying, like, oh, don't worry. Oh, don't worry. We're not going to share it to anyone. We'll keep it super safe and shit. And this is why I gave Kyle a list of the 56 biggest security breaches. Because everyone says, oh no, we'll keep your shit safe. And yet...
Oh my God, that's right. In one of those security breaches, I missed one of those notifications, or was it that PayPal didn't send it out? And I remember because of I was going to pay one of my artists because they'd finished a character concept, and it's like I like to pay my people on time because I hate the feeling of owing somebody money. It's like gotta pay it off now. And so I was gonna pay him. I go to my PayPal and I'm like, why can't I withdraw money from my bank? Open up my bank. It's because PayPal. Somebody had hacked my PayPal and had started to buy drones en masse. About, a few hundred of them. And my bank account was in the red, and I was like, well, this is bad. And that is why...
he was buying drones, he was investing for the future.
I'm pretty sure he was buying the drones to resell them. But I don't know. This is stupid. It's why you should always change your password every once in a while, regardless. Maybe on a yearly basis. I've got a password book now. And, it's just something I do now. And it's also good to get two-check authenticator or whatever. You might as well. Because it'll at least deter some of that crap. Because when it happens, oh boy, it can freeze everything. Not only did I owed one artist money, but the other artist started finishing their pieces. And by the time I had the situation fixed, I owed, 4 people money. And I was like, God, I just hated the feeling. Because I'm sorry, I can't pay you right now. Because of the thing. And they understood. They believed me, but it's one of those things I don't want to ever have to do that again. Ever. So you should always double check.
That's true. And again, the entire point is bullshit. You're going to keep this safe. Facebook has failed to keep their data safe. Yahoo has failed. Twitter has failed. MySpace has failed. And multiple times, too, mind you. They don't screw up just once. They keep screwing up. LinkedIn has failed. Adobe has failed. eBay has failed. Banks have failed. If it's on the internet, it is not bloody secure. And if they're going to keep a storage of this, it's going to get leaked at some point. And that's a lot of potential private information and just unguarded conversation being had over what is supposed to be just a voice chat.
And people could blackmail you with it if they figured out who you were and doxed you.
Potentially, yeah. And hell, in this day and age, you drop a couple of unguarded negashas, the worst shit that's going to happen to you ain't merely losing your Chinese Overwatch account.
You might get beaten in the streets.
It's 2021. We are past the point of merely banning people for these things now.
Now we got to ruin your career and ostracize you from society.
At least it won't be. Oh, what was that? There was a site a while ago that got hacked, which was specifically a dating site for people who wanted to cheat on their spouses.
Oof.
That higher site got hacked, and that's whoops, shit. That was a. Why did I register on the internet for this again? Like that's that's not merely leaving breadcrumbs. That's pretty much like just having pieces of dried spunk just strewn throughout the house at that point.
People get horny and they don't think.
That's true.
They're like PP hard. put personal information and credit card information into DMs. Oh my god. It's terrible.
But yet, so very, very normal in this day and age.
Yeah.
Right. That is our topics for this particular week. But let's have a little bit of a look at what chat has to say, huh? Because we were a bit late, and then we talked for I think 10 minutes before we realized that it wasn't, functioning yet.
Mm-hmm.
So there's stuff like that. Let's see. Has anyone been saying anything interesting? Any questions? I don't see any ats immediately, so. The word of power. The chat understands.
They do.
They do. 10 years in the ISO cubes for the power words. Maybe. We'll have to get to that point. And Abdi Muhammad says, Allah allowed us 4 wives. Well, I only have 2 at the moment, Kyle and Discordia. So, there you go. They're my moderators too.
We'll get more.
I'll just claim random people in the chat as moderators and be like, oh, you're my wife now.
Don't you fucking moderate random people. That'd be a bad idea. That's what V did, and that's why V's is an absolute shit show. Bad V.
That's true.
Too trusting of strangers on the internet.
That is true, but that's V. Yeah, that's V. Oh, somebody asked the question. That popped the question as well. When is the RP? It is tomorrow at 9 my time, which is Central European time, and it'll be some other time for everyone else.
I mean, I can tell the Americans here. Central American time. It'll be 3 p.m. I believe.
All right, 3 p.m. There you go.
I think it's 3 p.m.
And it'll feature myself as the glorious overlord, of course. It will also feature a little bottle of ketchup, and it will feature a Kyle and a Discordia. And it'll also feature a Canadian. A tiny little dev will crawl in after much procrastination, and he's going to play Pokemon because he's a Pokephile. Confirmed, by the way.
You just saw that he was recently streaming it, didn't you? Or was he streaming it?
That as well.
Does he record? No, he streams on Twitch, and then he uploads on YouTube. He once raided me. That's how I know, because one of his audience members told me, because I asked him.
I also have, I made an icon for myself as well, though I don't think I'll be using it, because it just looks too horrible. It shall remain a joke piece.
Mm-hmm. In fact, after the stream, the thing, if Disco is still awake, will be setting up the talking icons for the RP. It's gonna suck if any one of us dies, because then we gotta get Carlos to make a new one. So we should try not to die, otherwise it hurts Arch's wallet. Or maybe then we should die a lot more. I could almost like pull this above your head and be like, give me the stick, and be like, no, Kyle, I'm not gonna give you the stick, but you better be ready to fork over some money for a new character portrait. Perfect.
Let's see what else. Heard of Distant Worlds 2. I'm getting moderately excited for it. Distant Worlds 2 could be fun. I did play the original way back in the day. Way back. It's old. It feels like it's old anyways.
Oh, do you want me to share that art, by the way? I mean, it's from the stream. Why don't we talk about it? I'm gonna show the original picture. Now, I'm not gonna show the video, But if you watch the Arch's video, the highlight reel of our streams that we do every week on our channel, the highlight reel's here, so you don't need it. You don't need to go to my channel. But on Arch's, it's what did you call it? It's like I didn't name it, so what do you call it? Whatever
You didn't name it?
well, whatever you named the last video, the highlight reel you uploaded.
Let's name something. I forget.
There's an edited scene of Arch's.
Oh, that's one. That's not that one. That one's later.
Oh, it's not up yet? Oh, shit.
No.
Okay, we're going to talk about the cat. All you need to know is Arch is actually a cat. Oh my god, that's the most wondrous icon ever, though. No, we are setting this up. Tell fucking numbnuts, fucking Latvian pig dog to fucking get rid of this backdrop so you can make it transparent. That'd be great.
See, the cat is Disco's creation, and I kind of prefer it because it looks grumpier. Carlos's one looks too fucking happy. And that was part of two. He's Carlos. So I tell him, no, don't do it like that. Have it more like staring into the camera. And he's like, okay. And then he just keeps drawing. And then when he's done, he's like, Carlos, you should have explained better. I'm just a Carlos. I'm like, oh, Carlos. I hope you choke on something.
He's a good concept artist. Also, I noticed he gave you a comb over. Little Hitler kitty.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Little Hitler kitty.
It's a little Trump comb over. That's fine.
That's not a Trump comb over. I think that's a fucking Hitler one. I think you're Nancy. I think you're...
Fucking little Carlos. Look at what he does.
Carlos is trying to get you canceled. Hitler kitty. All right, that was beautiful.
Let's see what else. Will there be a Gazgul lore video? Potentially, but there will not be a Gazgul lore video that ends with him getting his head chopped off by Ragnar Lothbrok, I want to say now, Black Man. And then just picking his head back up on having it sewn back on, because that's recent 40k lore, and I've pretty much decided to ignore that, because it's dumb. Will you start backing this channel on Odyssey? I should, but it uses cryptocurrency, and I'm really skeptical to that now, because as much as I love the idea, countries have started banning that shit and putting it on terrorist watch lists and crap now, and I'm just, it's just Turkey right now. But I can see the EU looking with wet, glistening eyes of envy on that, and yes, central banking system must protect.
Nancy Archcat. Nancy. Yeah. See. Fuck you. Got him, Russ. Good job, Russ. Head pats. Adolf Necco, says Neon. Yes, this is trending. Nazi kitty. Nazi kitty. Oh, I see how it is.
It needs to be. It needs to be fucking crankier.
I can ban you. I can ban you, Bobby Q. I see you sassing me. Look at that. See this button right here? Hide user on this channel. I'd be nicer to me if I were you. Your days are numbered.
The problem is, Kyle, he's just saying the truth. He's calling you a furry, and here you are. And the worst thing is, like, I asked Kyle, just have my artist draw a picture of you as a normal human being. He's like, no, I won't be a furry.
What?
Like, okay.
You were like, you want to use your face? And I'm like, no. No. I'd rather use the mascot. But I do love how... Oh my god. Like, I want to punch Aerith in the face. Every time I look at her face, it's this smug, the smugness. It makes you want to punch the screen a little, doesn't it? Not a good face. That's a smug cunt face right there.
And that's exactly how Under Radar views you. He hears your voice and he goes,
wow,
this'll do.
And I paid that man. I can't believe. Also, gosh darn it, tell that man to fucking somehow use magic god power and get a PayPal. Like a real human being.
Yeah, no, like he lives in a country that basically we've all kind of blockaded and forgotten, so he needs to use that dumbass roundabout system. I hate it too.
It is.
I'll just stop paying him at some point. I don't know when, but I'll just stop.
And then not Indio. You're not paying him. And then I keep getting the artists mixed up. Under will be super sad. He'll be like, I'm hungry. Be like, too bad. Stay hungry.
Mm-hmm. You will be hungry, but that is no bad thing. In fact, might be a good thing. Now, we will have our little animated icons over there as well, and they will be great. The RP will undoubtedly be fantastic, though Dev, I am sure, will work hard to undermine it with his constant drama mongering, that little dirty thing.
He's gonna start drama with Arch one day. He's gonna be like, Arch, and you know what's gonna happen? Oh my god, okay, I'm calling it. Hans is gonna get into a fight with him or something in the campaign, and then fucking Dev's gonna be like, he's gonna leave, and he's gonna like be like, I'm leaving this campaign. I had a great time and something, and then like later he's gonna make a video and be like, Arch is mean to me, and he's a Nancy. It'll be great. Two-Faced.
That does sound like Dev.
This sounds familiar, but you know, whatever. Not like this is a reoccurring theme on, you know, this is kind of your fault actually. This is your fault, you know. Keep inviting,
this is your fault.
You keep inviting big YouTubers on, and then somehow they decide to just try to betray you some way. They're like, you know what? Fuck that guy.
The only proper betrayal I've had now has come from Saga Rooney, in fact, who in a live stream commented like, somebody asked him like, have you heard about Arch's new RP? And looking like a wounded puppy, just outside in the rain as it's hammering down around his floofy little ears as he looks up to the camera with tear-soaked eyes like, no, I haven't been invited. And I fucking yelled at him in our super secret conspiracy chat afterwards, like, bitch, you were the first person I invited, and you were like, yeah, but I'm kind of busy now setting the Lotus Eaters. I'm like, all right.
I'm busy. And look at that. Fucking old man Sargaroni. He's the guy with the beard. Yes, that one. The glasses.
Yes, that one. Then he winced a little bit, like, maybe later? I was like, yes, we can set up a separate RP maybe at some point. And then that'll be an all YouTuber RP. We'll get Dankula. That would be fun. Yes.
Oh, rest in peace, you. I guess.
There'll be a lot of power words flying, but hey, that's fine.
That'll get your channel taken down for good.
They will be, but oh well. Oh no, it'll be excellent. It'll be great. It'll just be Sargon and Dankula as buddy cops on a planet somewhere in 40k doing buddy cop things. There you go.
There you go. Yeah, make it like a little tiny like narrative campaign like that. So there's only 2 of them, because God only knows I don't think they can handle more than, you know, maybe just a one-on-one session. Maybe that'll be easier to manage them. Oh, they're so boomery.
That sounds terrible, though. I wouldn't do such a thing.
What are you talking about? Of course you would.
Cruel. And unusual. But it bears considering, because it would indeed be mildly funny. All right. I have 2 more Streamlab things. Let's get that. And we'll wrap up the first little stream here. That little news nonsense. Oh, and by the way, if you do want to send me interesting little stuff that you think is interesting or you might want to see in these segments, you can just send them to me via DMs on my new Twitter, which will be in the description of this video. And I might even read them. Maybe.
Follow Arch on Twitter right now. And if you don't have a Twitter, go make one. Quit being a little pussy. The reason why that place is such a cesspit is because there's not enough. Okay, I don't know if you guys being on there would make it better, actually.
Nazis?
Never mind. Never. Inviting more cancer might just make it worse.
I was informed recently on Twitter that 40k only has, 4 types of fans? Nazis, latent Nazis, people who pretend not to be Nazis, and Nazi enablers. So there you go.
You saw that one, yeah. That one was funny.
That was good.
That one was funny.
I like that.
I do like that.
Stay.
Oh, was that from the guy? Was that from the guy? If you click on his profile, and he's one of those. Remember when you were voted to be the, what do you call it, Warhammer champion, dude?
Yes, the Warhammer Heroes thing. He did win that, which is fantastic.
He's like former, because he's like, I've disavowed the franchise. See, look at that, GW. You placated these monsters, and now they just leave. They weren't even interested in your IP to begin with. They're like, all right, I did my damage. Now I'm leaving.
Look at that. The rabbit rat bit. Weird.
And that's why I think, if I remember, I tweeted out something like, oh, look, you did it. Gatekeeping. 1 down. Now go get the rest.
Now, from Comrade Gamers for $30, thank you very much. Hey Arch, just want to say thank you for all the lore videos you've done Fantasy in 40k. Really been enjoying the longest series in 40k. You ever thought about doing the same for Fantasy, pre-end time, of course, like for the War of Vengeance? Yes, definitely. I do kind of want to do the War of Vengeance, and it'll be a little bit more of a short, larger lore videos too, instead of these 20, 30 episode monstrosities. I could probably get the War of Vengeance done in 10 odd, maybe something like that. Probably it's going to be either that or the Primarchs this year. I think either one. And strawberry milk for $8 Canadian. Oh, Canadians. Well, we shan't judge just because you live in the same country as Dev. Thank you for giving us these videos on lore and on games. You've helped me want to learn more lore and decision making when it comes to games. Thank you for supporting us and for watching the videos. Right. Catachan lore video, please. I do need to do that at some point too. There's so many things in 40k I do need to do, but will I ever do them? No.
That's how I look at it. See, when you get into YouTubing, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, I remember being like, oh, I'm going to make everything the fans want ever. I'm going to stream all the games they want me to play. And then I do. I stream Fire Warrior. And I never do what they say again. Okay, I kind of do. But I always regret it.
That is another point. I highly recommend all of you to show up to Kyle's streams occasionally as well and tell him to play Fire Warrior.
No, hold
it
up.
is his favorite game.
Wait. You know, Arch is a Warhammer channel, guys, and I really think that Arch should actually do his job and play more Warhammer games on his channel. Think about it. There are tons of old Warhammer games. There's that, what's it called, War of Rights or Age of Rights or something? War of Rights. Wrong game. There's an Eldar game, you know? There's Chaos Rising or something, some old XCOM looking thing. And there's the legendary, it's better than Halo, Fire Warrior. Yeah, you can find it on GOG, $10. You'll regret every minute of it. And Arch, you'll just love it. Oh, the prison level, it gets so loud. Think about it. Arch should play Fire Warrior. Yes, Giggles. Yes, chat. It's time. See, I've already played through it like 3 times because of you assholes. It's time for Arch to play it. It's time for you to enjoy it. Look, it runs on Windows 10. You have Windows 10, right? Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Oh.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It runs on anything. GOG. $10. $10. No. GOG.
No.
You will do it.
No.
You will do it.
No.
You will.
No.
The thing is, like, I've seen people ask Arch to do things in comments and stuff like, Arch, can you do this thing? And I read that comment and I'm like, he's never doing that. Chaos Gate, that's the one, yeah.
Chaos Gate is nice and old, but it probably wouldn't even run.
It might. I mean, the thing is,
no, it won't.
Have you tried? Do you know if it runs or not? He's like, no, but I get out of it soon. It might run. And there might be fixes to make it run.
No.
Yeah.
No.
See,
I remember playing Mass Effect Andromeda, and I was so happy when it bugged out and started crashing, because then I was like, well.
I remember you DMing me over that.
It's bugged.
Because we were discussing, like, you were discussing that happening, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna lie to my audience and use the same excuse. And I did.
Yep.
I was like, oh no, mine had the same bug. Oh, it's so weird.
Oh, you lied. For me, it actually happened.
And then I stopped playing it. It was so bad, though. And to be fair, that was when really I was a tiny channel. So nobody was watching anyways.
When you were?
Look, for me, having 4,000 subscribers is like Kyle, being a giant, okay?
I don't think you know what they mean.
My original channel, when I first met you, was like 1,000 subs, and you were like 20,000. I was like, holy shit. Or maybe you were 30,000. You were growing really fast at that point. I was like, holy shit, this is a big YouTuber. Chat wants me to invite him on for a podcast. He's probably going to say no, just like every other one, especially if they see any of my videos, because, oh my God, I swear a lot. But, and he showed up, and then he never left. Still have to deal with him on a regular basis.
On that note, too, we should not be swearing. Stop swearing, Kyle.
Oh, but I like swearing.
Stop using the words because they're bad.
Bad words are fun words.
No.
Bad words generate revenue.
See, I've been using the F word too often now because I've been keeping myself back from using it in all the other videos, and it's really goddamn hard. And so when you start, it's just like, well, fuck.
We need to come up with a swear book of new swear words.
We do need to invent new swear words.
We need to come up with new power N words too that sound like it but aren't it.
See, I enjoyed cuck because cuck had a good weight to it, but it's been used too frequently by the proper Nazis now, so it's kind of ruined it for me.
Oh, they would hijack our stuff. Oh, god damn it. That's also why probably Bubbles is whinging at me the other day. He's like, you keep saying cuck and cringe, and you're just fucking annoying. And I'm like, Bubbles, what else do you want me to say? Chud? Like, I am not doing that.
Oh, that's not even a good. It's not even a good insult. It sounds heavy and
you know what it is?
Lazy, like the Marxists who say it.
You know what it is? It's a cuck word.
Yeah, it is.
Crumple stooge. Ah, toad snippers.
Crumple stooge. Oh, toad. That's. I mean, yes, but they're just bad. It's just bad. Munchkrigler. That sounds too racist. You can't have that. That sounds like ethnic minorities. No.
You goddamn Munchkrigler. Nothing but Munchkriglers down there, I tell you. Rotten. Dirty Munchkriglers.
Callies. Californians.
Goddamn Cal.
I mean, you could replace fuck with California. Like, much the same thing, really.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the punch. It has to be short, you know? It's got to be short.
That's true.
Like, fuck, it just sounds... It's like, fuck. Like, if
it's an excellent word. That's the problem.
If I stub my toe, which I did, like, when I was setting up this stream, I was like, fuck, because I was like, my toe hurts.
It's a great word. It's so versatile. It can be used for anything. Any sentence introducing the word fuck it doesn't screw with it at all. If anything, it only enhances it. Like, both my parents were killed in a horrible lawnmower accident. Like, both my fucking parents were killed in a horrible lawnmower accident. That makes it sound worse. Or both of my parents were killed in a fucking lawnmower accident. It just makes it better.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he didn't like that lawnmower accident. See, before if you say, my parents were killed in a lawnmower accident, it's like, he's basically condoning. He's like, that lawnmower should have ran him over. It's like, it's just, the fucking lawnmower killed my family. Like, there, it's pain, it's emotional. It's like, the lawnmower killed my family. It's like, oh, yeah, good for the lawnmower then.
Good for the lawnmower. It won. It gets to go on living now.
That'll teach them for trying to turn it on.
Right, that's it. At the end of each stream from now on, we were going to try out a new swear word. And just like, whippersnapper.
Whippersnapper?
Old, but,
okay, I can feel the wrinkles forming on my face now. Like,
yep.
Like, you know that scene from, what was it, Saving Private Ryan, where the guy, like, looks down and his face ages? Like, you saying whippersnapper, that's what happens. It's like, get all old.
Goddamn whippersnappers, get off me lawn.
Whippersnapper.
Go bring the shotgun.
I don't believe that.
I always thought that was a little bit harsh. Like, children on your lawn, you're like, oh, go bring me shotgun.
Like,
why?
Think about it. Back then, there was a baby boom. People were fucking so much that they were making babies left and right. So it's like, what's one? Like, they got like 7 of them.
I can't use Zog chat, because I'm pretty sure Blizzard has probably fucking trademarked that.
No. Nope.
Zog.
Zug Zug.
Zug Zug.
Oh my god, Zug Zug is great though. Like, it just sounds dumb. Like, Zug. Zug Zug.
Zug Zug.
We could just steal other IPs, swear words, and they couldn't do anything about it because we're not selling it. Now, if we try to put it on a shirt, unless they trademark it...
Zug Zug.
Zug Zug. Zug Zug. That's our word. What's the word? We're reclaiming it.
We're reclaiming it from Activision's cold, dead, grasping hands.
Yeah, it's not Blizzard. Blizzard's gone. Activision runs the shot. See, we're just reclaiming it. We're reconquisting it.
Yeah. Zug Zug.
Zug Zug.
Zug Zug.
Today's stream is Zug Zug.
Oh, that's another thing too. Okay, Rako means the C word in Native American, with emphasis in the last word, Rako. Okay, because I miss saying I can't even use the C word, because the C word is In the YouTube backend, they list all of the no words, and the C word is up there with power word N. Like we have power word vagina now. That is a thing we have. Makes me sad, Kyle.
Oh my god, I get it. Zug Zug replaces faggot. You're a Zug Zug.
You're a Zug Zug. That doesn't sound good.
You're Zugget. A Zug. What does Zug mean even?
I don't know.
Zug. Probably like okay or something.
Zug.
And we're like, it means gay. It means gay. But in a negative connotation.
We should just start using Spanish words or something. Because in Spanish, you get to say power word N and just be like, it just means black.
Yeah. To pretend we was Spanish and Chayit.
And just start every stream with like, what's Spanish for hello? Culo?
No hable
Chorizo?
Inglés? I don't know. Por favor.
Chorizo, hablo, English, culo.
Sí, señor.
Sí, chorizo.
Look at we're figuring it out, guys. We're decoding language with our brains.
Yeah, I watched Narcos not that long ago, and Spanish was a fascinating language because they keep using the same goddamn swear word. What was it? God damn it! I can't remember it. I need to rewatch Narcos.
That says hola, by the way.
Puta madre.
Puta.
That means like fuck your mom or something.
I thought puta mean pussy.
No, does it? Puta.
Puta pussy. Puta pussy.
Puta.
Yeah.
Puta.
Show me your puta, Arch. Show me your puta. Do it.
I question this. I really do.
I don't even know. Me cago en mil putas, says Giggles. Giggles,
you know, cague en mi chorizo puta.
Giggles might be Mexican.
Get
Boog as your researcher. Yeah, Boog is Mexican.
That's true. We should hire him to be our Mexican translator.
And then ask him to donate regularly, too, so that we don't lose any money. Yes, Galud. That way, else looks like we're doing a charity at the same time. Well, you know, making him work in the sweatshop.
Use the Somali word for Nagash. No. I'm pretty sure YouTube is scanning even for that.
They probably do, if I had to guess. Because remember, YouTube isn't just scanning the English side of it. It's scanning the German and every other language, Spanish, etc.
They are. They're creepy little bastards. Anywho, we have procrastinated now for far longer than we were supposed to.
That's good, though.
Puntas means whores. Okay, thank you, chat. Puntas. Mesa para cuatro, por favor. I probably just asked somebody to fuck me like a horse, but...
Hopefully they will.
Anywho, thank you guys very much for watching this very odd little stream where we spent the first, 5 minutes just talking to ourselves. It's fine. We'll try to have it scheduled next time. Lovely. Trust me. Oh, and bring more Mexican people so we can learn their ways to make us immune for the censors. Until next time.